Hey there everyone, this is Matt for Creative Reviews. Today we're here with the new iPhone 6. This one is in space gray. It's on T-Mobile and it has 128 gigabytes. What we're just going to do is look around at the outside aesthetics of the phone before we go inside in later videos. Alright, first we're going to touch on the edges. They have a really nice curve, and I believe this phone is 6.1 millimeters thick. This is a very thin phone. I like the curve of the screen on front, if you can see that shine. It definitely adds to the device. On here at the bottom we have your single speaker grill. The speakers have been greatly improved from the iPhone 5S, where it actually sounds more robust and a tiny bit of bass, even though it's not really there because they can't produce a bass. Here is the lightning connector at the bottom with the two screws, and you have your speaker input when you're talking on the phone and your headphone. And by the way, just here, that is your nano SIM card, and that is your sleep wake button, which used to be up here at the top, but it is there no longer. The top of the device is actually completely clean. So if you like it, that's the way it is now. Alright, so let's flip this around and see what's on this side. At the top here you have more plastic bands, as you'll see, that separates the back panels of the phone to improve call quality and Wi-Fi reception. Here you have the mute silencer button, which you can toggle on and off. And here you have your volume up and down. Pretty simple. That is all that is on this phone except for those bands. Now in the front here we have the Touch ID, sapphire glass or sapphire crystal for the Touch ID, Corning's Gorilla Glass for the rest of the device. And here's that device again. Let's get this from a few different angles, and hopefully the light will hit it just right where you can see the curves. And on the front here, hopefully we can get this without the reflection of the light. There we have our FaceTime camera. We have our speaker grill, and we have some ambient light sensors on top. They've moved the FaceTime camera from the very middle to the side. Here's the old. You can see there's the speaker grill. I hope it focuses. The speaker grill and the camera on top of it instead. A very good looking phone. Alright, we're going to flip this around to the back, where instead of being really space gray, it has actually lessened the color to be more of a platinum gray, if anything. And what I would prefer is these plastic pieces to be black, so you kind of get the contrast between black and a dark gray here. But oh, and by the way, that's well, I'm showing you there's a 5, not a 5S. Now I know it was toned down. The black was toned down to be space gray, but they seem to have, again, toned it down even more. Anyway, those are just my personal preferences. That I wish that these plastic pieces were black. It catches light really well, and you can see the curve playing with the light there, almost creating a band continuous from the top to the bottom. Alright, at our very top here we have your protruding camera. I just want to get low enough where you can see that it actually does protrude out a little bit. I've had this for about a day and I have had no real problems, other than I just don't like it kind of rocking back and forth on a very flat surface. That's something that I would prefer it not to do. And I understand why they have to do it. When you make a device thinner and you have a camera that is not as thin, you have to make it protrude out, just like the iPod Touch, the 5th generation iPod Touch. But Sometimes you have to make some leeway. For this, I have a case on it, so there's really no problem with it. Now, here we have the back speaker, and we have the True Tone flash, which you can see is kind of a mix between amber and yellow-white. And then, of course, here is the Apple logo. It is black reflective material, and it is a fingerprint magnet, as you can see. But I do like, and they have been doing this for a long time, a 2 type material on the back, because that's about where your finger goes. Here's the 5 again. When I rest my finger against it, whether or not you think that this is slick or not, it actually depends on if you're sweating, if you have oily fingers, one or the other. It all really depends. So what I found is, in one case, you have sweaty hands and this feels a little bit slick. This will catch nicely. So see, slick, slick, slip, rub. So you put your finger there, and that way you get a little bit more control over your device. And same thing the opposite way. If this happens to be slick when your fingers are really oily, it'll catch nicely back here. Now, I have heard people say that this phone is a little bit slippery. I wouldn't really consider it slippery. My fingers aren't usually oily, nor are they sweaty. At least I try to keep them not be. But I have a nice grip on this phone. And it also does feel not slick, or not slippery, but smooth on the side. And I do like that. So all around, a really good looking device. I was honestly looking for a gold or champagne 6 Plus, but they didn't have any at the T-Mobile store that I had. So I got the 6, and actually I'm very surprised that I like this, and I think I may prefer this one over, because I was able to speak with some friends who got the 6 Plus, and I was able to try it out as well. I like the size of this a lot more. Although I would have liked the 1080p rather than the 720p that this device has. But, I mean, holding it the distance that I would normally use it away from my face, I'm not really finding anything wrong with the screen resolution. And of course, here we have Touch ID, which is a single tap, and will go in the phone. If it works. There it works. Alright, so this has been Matt. We've been taking a look at the outside aesthetics of the iPhone 6. This one, again, is space gray. It's on T-Mobile, and it's a 128 gigabyte version of that. Alright, find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Blogger. Let us know what you like, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.